Oi, punters, do you want to know what's worse than a corporate bludger making record profits while we all struggle? I'll tell you what's worse. A corporate shill telling us that we should be happy about it. Okay, punters, let's take a look at this massive corporate piece of propaganda from the Sydney Morning Herald. Old corporate shill William Bennett. I'm sure he's a nice bloke. I'm, not having a go at him, but I am having a go at what the bloody hell his opinion piece he just wrote. Okay, so this is what corporations want us to think. They want to make us think that profit's good at your expense. And this is how they do it. Look at this. Tall profit syndrome. Why do we hate companies making money? Yeah, that's it, Will. We hate companies making money. Oh my gosh. So in Australia, profits are bad for publicity. From sports people to politicians and business magnates like Gina Reinhardt, Australians have perfected the art of cutting down those who rise above the crowd. So you see where it's going. This is corporate gaslighting at its finest. If we critique, call out, or criticize a massive corporation for, unethical behavior, I'm the ungrateful one. We're the ones that are just, the politics of envy. How dare you have billions of dollars that you inherited by digging up Australia's natural resources and paying us bugger all royalties for it, Gina? Keep going. This cultural trait extends beyond individuals to businesses, what we might call tall profit syndrome. Yeah. In which a company reporting healthy profits instantly becomes a target for criticism and accusations of unethical behavior. Hold that thought. Look at that nice soft word there. Accusations of unethical behavior. So they're going, listen, you should be grateful that these corporations are making record profits. You should be happy about that. And if you accuse these corporations of doing, anything illegal or unethical, you're just jealous. So let's just come back to this section here. Become a target for criticism of accusations of unethical behavior. Are they just accusations there, Will? Are they? Let's take a look. Combank, underpaid staff $1.67 million. Just an accusation? Qantas agrees to pay $120 million in compensation to illegally outsourced workers. So essentially what happened was this thing came along, won't say it, don't want to de-rank the video. Qantas instantly, crybaby, we're going to go bankrupt, boo-hoo, we need some government money please. They got given, at the height of the pandemic, $2.7 billion in government funds. Holy crap. And I suppose, sure, all things aside, the government's like, okay, let's have these workers keep their jobs. So when it's all over, they can go back to work and we don't have to restructure a whole corporation. So we will give you, Qantas, $2.7 billion. And so then what did Qantas do? They took that cash and then fired 1,820,000 ground crew. And then they found they illegally sacked them. Now, with all this sweet cash they got, did Qantas pay the money back? No. We're going to pocket a record profit of $2.47 billion. So we just gave Qantas this huge money. And then what did they end up doing with that money? Let's take these profits and let's buy back our shares. Let's buy back our shares, up our share price. Shareholders get a nice bonanza. Back to here. Accusations of unethical behavior. Is that what this is? Just accusations. I can keep going all day. 8 ways Woolies and Coles squeeze their suppliers and their customers. There's some accusations of unethical behavior here. They squeeze farmers. Essentially, if you're a farmer, you can only sell to Coles and Woolies. The TLDR, they treat them like crap. One cherry farmer sent 15 tons of cherries to Coles, an entire semi-trailer load. He hoped to receive 90 grand. Instead, he was told the fruit was not up to standard and was only able to get 5,800. That's on the spot. What's he supposed to do? He has to give it to them. If he says no to that price, I guess all the cherries go bad and he's got $0. So it's just kind of extortionate. That's one example of many. I've done a previous video on that. You can click that in the link below there if you want to see me rant against Coles and Woolies. I've done it a bit. I'm just jealous. They demand money to accept price increases. Another bloody dodgy thing they're doing. They're matching prices, otherwise known as price fixing. It's illegal. They just look over the fence, match prices so they don't have to compete on price. They blame inflation. This is what a lot of mad corporates did when they increased their profits. Inflation comes along and what happens? Their margin climbs from 5.3% to 6%. So they said, oh, our prices went up because of inflation. But in actual fact, they were driving inflation with their price increases because they increased them above and beyond inflation. And then they do this dodgy thing, which is definitely proven that they do. They land bank. They buy up any site where another supermarket could come in and buy and compete with them, in the same shopping centre, the same land, in the same suburb, so that there's only a Woolworths there or there's only a Coles and a Woolies there, and there's any other option for another supermarket to come in, the land's bought, it's sitting there vacant, and obviously the other supermarket's like, hey, can I buy that land?
Well, why, I'm just trying to understand why Woolworths would otherwise have an interest in purchasing a shopping centre.
We would purchase a shopping centre with the view of putting a Woolworths supermarket into that shopping centre.
Wouldn't that mean getting rid of the one that was currently there?
Once again, it depends on the circumstances. In some circumstances, that would be the case. In other circumstances, the centre may be big enough to accommodate two supermarkets.
We're gonna. Have you ever seen two Woolworths in the same supermarket? Oh my gosh.
Are there many shopping centres where there is both a Woolworths and a Coles that Woolworths owns?
Not that Woolworths owns.
Got him. You absolute dodgy boy. Yeah, that's land banking. I can continue with this Coles and Woolworths thing because I'm so jealous of their profits. Woolworths wage theft scandal. $571 million stolen from workers. That is illegal. And that is how they make record profits. And then the ACCC right now is taking legal action, Woolies and Coles, over allegedly misleading price claims. So this is where Woolworths increase the price by double, discount it by 10% and call it a sale. Just deceptive practices. So this is kind of what happens when you have a monopoly. These bludgers do whatever they bloody want, and then the government has to keep on putting in regulation, because normally if there was more competition in the market, if the market was truly a free market where the entrance into the market was a low bar, making it a free market, then competition would eliminate this dodgy corporate bludger behavior. But since there is no competition, the government has to keep on whacking them. Oh, hey, stop that. Hey, that's unethical. Hey, that's confusing customers. Hey, that's not fair. Hey, that's illegal. You just pay a small little fine. No one's going to go to jail, because apparently corporations are people, but then no one goes to jail when they commit crimes. So are they people? I don't know. Profit growth is the foundation of a strong, stable economy. It pains me to point out. I don't know, I'm just reading it. It seems patronizing. It pains me to point out that profitable companies contribute to government revenue through taxes. To Woolworths' credit, to CommBank's credit, a lot of these companies, corporations, do pay taxes. Except that a third of large companies are not paying taxes here in Australia. So once again, how am I supposed to call that out without being jealous of your profits? So you know what profits are actually a good indication of, especially record profits, record-breaking profits year on year on year? It actually is probably more of an indication, not of great business innovation, but of exploitation of a broken system. And that's what you have right here. Woolworths, BHP, NAB, named and shamed, as analysis reveals, 98 billion in crisis profits. This is when corporations have an unfair advantage in a market, a crisis happens where they are the only players, or they can take advantage of a crisis, and you know what? They do, and they make $98 billion above and beyond their regular record profits because, I don't know, one country invades another country and then resource prices goes up, so they price gouge everybody. The perception that profits are inherently negative often stems from historical and cultural context where profit-seeking were associated with exploiting practice and unsafe conditions and environmental harm, she says. Yes, and that is still currently the case. And then it goes on to compare us with the United States. I don't want to be compared with them because they have no workers' protection, no minimum wage, more corporate dodgy behaviour, and their politicians are even more bought out than ours. So let's just not go there. Tall profit syndrome is lethal to entrepreneurship and toxic to innovation. And this is where this article lands the plane on the most wrong piece of corporate propaganda. This right here is utter, sheer corporate propaganda. Here's what these massive corporate bludgers do. They are in a class of their own. They're turning billions and billions of dollars in profit, and most of them, a third of them not paying taxes. And then they wrap it up, they wrap themselves up as if they are entrepreneurs, as if they are small businesses. And then they say to we punters, oh, you don't want small businesses being taxed? No, I do not. Small businesses, give them tax breaks, help them out, make them grow. Real great stuff, help entrepreneurs. But corporations are not entrepreneurs. Corporations are friggin' behemoths with profits larger than small Asian countries. But they want us to think that small business and large corporation are the same thing. And then they want us to think that these healthy profits, these record profits, these profits that have been confirmed by the OECD to have caused inflation, what is actually hurting our economy the most is the growing competition crisis. So these corporate profits that we very rightly should be calling out and critiquing is a system of a rigged system towards a few major players. And so we in fact have a less free market where we do not welcome new entrants. This is bad for workers, giving less options. This suppresses wage growth, which is bad for we punters. And it means lower productivity. And concentrated industries break rules more often. So concentrated industries that don't welcome new entrants, that is actually what is lethal to entrepreneurship and lethal to our productivity and lethal to our growth. This reporter could not have gotten it more and more wrong than this. This right here is just a piece of corporate propaganda opinion. It's an opinion, so you probably should ignore it anyway. But I thought I would point it out. I would point out what the narrative is going to be pushed on us when we start waking up. We start realizing we are getting absolutely scammed. And when we do, they're going to tell us, no. All this money we make by exploiting the system, by rigging the rules, by paying politicians, by stealing workers' money, all this money, it's actually for your own good. This is an abusive relationship. We are in an abusive relationship with corporate monopolies. So, punters, just keep an eye out for that. Massive thanks to we the punters over on Patreon. These are the punters that keep me making the videos that I think are important, like this one, and not just the ones that get the clicks. If you really like the channel and want to show your support, you can head to punterspolitics.com, pick yourself up a t-shirt. Oh, wait, I'm not wearing one right now. But I will next time. Give the video a like, the channel a sub, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers, punts.